Okay. Yeah. Yesterday we have talked about the arithmetic operators, logical operators, those things.
Exactly.
Right. Okay.
So today we will starting with my conditional statements. All right. So conditional statements, that will be my if and my else block. So whenever I have a choice to make, whenever I have multiple paths in my program, that if a particular condition is satisfied, I have to execute some set of instruction. And if the condition is not satisfied, I have to execute all the set of instructions. In that case, I'll be using my if else block. So let's go through the syntaxes. So I'll just say if you have to specify the condition here. Then important thing now, this is my Python syntax, you have to put colon. Okay. Now this colon means to tell Python that there is a block of code coming. Okay. So you may have 10, 15, 20, 100 lines of code inside of your if condition, right? So in Python, I'm not using any curly brackets. So in Java, in C, that curly brackets tells the interpreter and compiler that whatever is inside this if block, whatever inside this brackets is a part of this particular if statement, right? But in Python, I do not have anything braces and everything. So the only thing I have is a colon. Now colon tells my Python, okay, there is a block of code. Now whenever you write a block of code, you have to put indentation. Okay, so you will add 4 spaces here before writing any statement. Now in Sublime Text, when
that's a normal. Delete 4 spaces.
Exactly. So if you just click here at tab size 4, you can see you can configure your tab length, that on one tab how many spaces you need. So defaultly it is configured as a 4 space. Now
is it mandatory to need 4 or
yeah, discuss. So the mandatory thing is there should be a space. Okay.
But by
So,
default, it is 4 only.
No, it's not 4. Okay, so mandatory is you have need only one indentation, at least one. Okay. My Google generally uses 2 space standards to make it more cleaner. But the other industry standard says you are supposed, so it's recommended to use 4 spaces. Okay.
Okay.
So it's important that everybody should follow the same convention while writing Python programs, because everything is indentation based. So if I use 2 spaces and someone else is using 4 spaces, then you might cause issues, the unwanted issues, while just configuring if the code is integrated or not. Okay. So it's advisable that you use 4 spaces. Okay, and you will write your statements here. Next, if you have multiple condition, you will write elif. So that is my else if, and you will write your condition again colon, again your statements. All right, and lastly, you will write your else block. Again, there should be indentation. Yeah, this elif is something called else if in my other programming language.
this is elif.
Elif, yeah. So the keyword is elif. Okay, everything should be in a lowercase. Now, if you're writing the if block, all your elif and else should be at the same indentation. Okay, now let's check this using a small example. Very basic one. I have 2 numbers. I need to check which one is greater. Right? Pretty much basic. So what will be the 3 conditions? Possibility that A is greater. Second possibility, B is greater. And the third possibility is both are
Equal.
Right? Now let's try to write a if else block for this. Very simple. So I'll say if I have to specify the condition, and which should be either true or false. So I'm saying A is greater than B. Now if this is greater, you have to say print greater. Second is elif. B is greater than A, and greater else both are equal.
So if there's any change in indentation, right? What you're talking about the tab will.
Yeah,
So in L, if you have three spaces here, so no,
we will see.
that's not it.
Okay, what is this question?
So just I have to check which number is greater. Simple.
Okay, okay, okay. Great.
Alright. So this is saying B is greater. Alright, perfect. 30. A is greater. Okay. Alright, both are equal. So this is working. Now let's play around with it. I said if I put the colon, I need an indented block of code, right? I'm removing all the spaces. Okay, so it will show expected and indented block. Okay. So you are giving colon, but you are not putting the space, which means so that's why it will show indentation error expected and indented. Now if I put one space here, it will work. Okay. So in the same block, it should have a same indentation. Okay. Now this is completely independent block. This is completely independent block. Right now.
So at least the indentation tab size should be at least 1.
At least one, yeah.
Okay.
But recommended is 4. Okay. Now here I'm writing one statement with 4 spaces, one with a 1 space in a same block. Okay. So this will give me that inconsistent use of tabs and spaces in indentation. Okay. So reason is if you're writing a block of code, all the statement inside this block should have the same indentation.
Okay. So if A is greater than B, can you please put another if condition inside the if A greater than B?
Okay. So I'm doing something like this. Right. Now here I'm saying if A is greater than 20, okay, then check this, right? Now what I'm writing, I'm this if and this is at the same indentation, and now this is at my normal standard 4 space indentation. What is my value of A? What is it?
Okay.
Okay.
So is there any here we need to put indentation for tab size for
Yeah. So I'm putting one space, block of code.
Okay. So tab sizes from starting from if
Exactly.
it should be indentation 1. Okay.
So if inside a block of code, if you are maintaining one indentation, in that block it should be the same.
Okay.
Okay.
Great.
So standard is something look like this. Now, if you ever encounter indentation error, best practice is just make everything left aligned, okay, and add tabs. Okay, don't play with spaces because if you put space and tab, and now here I'm just putting tab, it looks like both having same indentation. Okay.
Okay.
So visibly it looks like okay, everything is at same indentation. For this, if I need one more indentation, I'm running it, but it will show me an error. The reason is if I backspace it, I can see there is one extra space. Okay.
So
So yeah.
from I mean, from if we need to start, we need to give in tab size 4.
Exactly,
Okay.
exactly.
Okay.
So now this indentation concept, you can see in my for loops, in my functions, classes, everywhere. Okay.
Okay.
So whenever you write this colon to specify block of code, you have to specify indentation. Okay. Now if you are writing another if statement inside of your if statement, then there should be 2 tabs. Right?
Okay.
Okay. So this is my if else statement. So in if else statement, at the time only one condition will be satisfied. That is, if this block get executed, everything else will not get executed. So it will just execute this, and it will come from execution from here.
Yeah, that's fine. I have one thing, from yesterday onwards, you are doing like this. How to select a group and make it a comment?
Okay. All right. So just select everything,
Okay.
control and that slash, this slash.
Control plus slash. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Thank you.
Got it? All right. So very simple problem for you guys. Try this, but make sure you make your indentation correct. Okay. So I have one character that says that I have to check if this is vowel or a consonant. Okay. So if it's from A, E, I, O, U, I have to print this is a vowel, or I have to print, otherwise I have to print this is a consonant. Okay. Very simple one. Try this.
Okay.
Someone you can try it on paper maybe.
Yeah.
You can try it on paper.
Yeah.
So you have to use your operators.
So if you want to check we need to spell some characters, right? A, I, E, O, U. So we can, for each check, we can have a brackets.
So which operator you planning to use?
Or,
Okay, so you have to add each character in. You have to compare with individual characters.
okay. So now we have to give that is equal to A, that is equal to E.
Yeah, I'll type it for you. Yeah, tell me.
That is equal to A.
This is my assignment operator.
No,
A
I mean,
equals
say,
equals to
the
A.
double equals.
Or
That is equal to, yeah.
Can we use in? Is that in
yeah,
tuple?
yeah.
Because I have tried that one. It's giving error something.
Okay, so let's see these papers. A, E, I.
Well, there should be digits, right? There should be Yeah, it's the character.
All right. So I have this. If something like this, I'll say print vowel. Else, I'll say print.
Can we give it like this? How to give this?
Just a second, just a second. Okay. So this is
Yeah,
working.
yeah, yeah. Fine.
All right. Let's
Sorry,
open
one
it for.
mistake.
Close, very close. All right.
That's a very easy one, right? This one.
So this is one. I keep it as it is. Copy, paste, comment this out.
Why?
Okay. We have seen this in operator right yesterday, so that it will just compare. So we have seen that example HTML, CSS language. If I use in operator and a string, it shows for that particular thing is present in that. If it's present, it will return me true. Else, it will return me false.
So can you please check this? I think it's working.
Yeah. So tuple will work, or
Yeah.
you can directly use strings only.
Yeah. Is that double equal to a this one? Okay.
Exactly. So can you see my screen?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. So you just Z in A I O U. That will work.
Oh, we can give it like this. Okay.
Okay.
Uh,
So for this, you can use anything. You can add this AEIO in a list. That is fine. You can add AEIO in a tuple. That is also okay. But better it's simple.
oh,
That
we
just
can give it in a group of word. I thought it is
yeah. So
okay.
this is also
Oh, in means it will check entire word.
exactly. So now the difference is
Single.
yeah. Just a second. Just a second. Okay. Now if I say string, okay. So whatever character I'm specifying, okay, it will look for that character inside a entire string, right? If it's a list, if it's a list, it will search for that element in the list. If it's a tuple, for tuple also it will search for that particular element in the tuple. Okay. So if I'm specifying two characters here, it will search for these two characters in this string.
Got it.
Got it?
Got it.
So in that case, A is a vowel and Z is not open. So we get two one is how does we can handle it.
Alright, so that will be completely different program. Let's.
What is this question?
So he is saying, what if I have two characters and okay, if I use in here, so obviously this will return. Well, I'm also interested in Java.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's obvious that it's now just checking if it's AEIOU, so it's anything other than AEIOU is going in else.
So it's taking AZ as a single E.
No, so yeah, it will consider AZ as a single entity. So now anything other than AEIOU, it will be my answer.
Got it.
Okay, so indentation, make sure you put it proper indentation. Okay, so everything other than my block of code should start from extreme left, and if you're writing your if you will go with one indentation, if you're going with nested if, you will go with two indentation. Likewise, you will nest your code. So defaultly in Python, you do not have to worry about readability. My Python will enforce you that you should write a readable program. Okay. So in many cases that in Java, in C, that indentation is something whoever is interested, whoever wants to make that program more readable, that person only goes for indentation. Yeah, exactly. Here it's a restriction. You have to compulsorily indent your program. Right? let's start with my loops, and then we'll combine some of the problem and for loops and my if else. So in Python, I have two loops, and we have few new concepts for that also. The for and the while loop. Okay. Now, I do not have do while loop here. So I'll be playing with these two loops only, do for and the while loop. Now the syntax of for loop. So for, you have to specify any user-defined variable. And okay. So few things. I have a keyword for. I can specify any user-defined data type. So this is like our favorite I variable. For I in 0, I less than n, I plus that for loop, and this for loop is completely different. So I'll be defining a user-defined variable that can be anything. You have to specify this in operator, and whatever you are specifying here should be a iterable data type. Okay, which means it should be able to traverse the one by one. Okay, so the main use of my for loop will be I have a collection, and from that collection I need to access elements one by one, right? So let's say I have a database query which contains 10 rows, and each row contains a lot of data. I have to go one by one. I have to fetch one query. I have to fetch all the responses from that query, then move to the next record, then move to the next record. I'm reading my file. I have hundreds of lines. I have to go one line at a time, right? So in that case, so I'm actually iterating through the multiple elements, right? So this should be iterable data type. Now, which means there I can specify my strings, list, tuple, set, dictionary, anything else. Okay, I cannot specify integer and float. Alright, because my Python cannot iterate with a number 100 or a 10.55.
The integer you can do.
Yeah, for loop cannot be. Yeah.
So let's take an example. Let's say I have a list
Yeah.
which contains 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, and 60. Right? How to write a for loop just to print simple values. So I say for, I said any user defined variable, I'm saying value in L. Okay. Now my list is iterable. That means I can take one element at a time, that is first 10, 20, 30, and so on. So how my for loop will work? So here if you see, I'm not specifying the start point, I'm not specifying the end point to my loop. It will defaultly start from the first element. It will automatically stop at the end. Okay, so that will be taken care of. You just have to work on the one. Okay, so how it stops internally is when it reaches the 60 and there is no next element, it will still goes. Okay, now there is no next element. In that case, Python raises one stop iteration exception. Now, in case of my for loop, Python internally handles that exception. Okay, and which actually stops the execution of it. Okay.
Okay.
So now just print again. I am specifying colon, which means I have to specify the indentation. Now what happening is, so I have this entire list, okay, and I'm iterating. So while iterating, I'm getting one element at a time in this value variable. Okay. So in first iteration, I'll get 20, 10. In second iteration, I'll get 20, 30, 40, 50, and so on.
Super. Okay.
Okay.
You can't jump the I think one third element.
Okay.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
how
So
for block? How to end it? Is there any ending for
nothing. That's it. That's it.
something like if you want to give two to three statements in the for loop?
Uh-huh. So that's what I'm saying. So yeah, we will see that example also. So here I'm saying colon, right? So which means start of the for loop. So anything which is present at this indentation will be inside my for loop.
So indentation is the main thing, and
Main thing. Exactly.
if we are reduced to the indentation, then automatically it treated as ending the for loop
Exactly.
for block. Okay.
Exactly. Now let's try to modify the same program to make the addition of all the values. Alright.
Okay.
So for that I'm taking just the sum as a extra variable to store my sum. So now in each iteration I'm getting one value, right? So I'm just saying sum is equals to sum plus value, right? So in first iteration I'll get 10. Sum then 0 plus 10. Initially my sum will be 0. So my answer will be stored in the sum variable. Again I will receive the next element. So that next element will again get added to the existing sum value, right? So likewise this loop will continue, and at the end in a sum variable I'll get the addition, right? So I'm commenting this and I'm just printing this.
Okay.
Okay. Now here you can see, so I'm writing this print statement at from left hand side. That's why this is actually giving me one value. Now let's add one indentation. So this is like inside of for loop, and in each iteration this is giving me the sum loop. So first it got 10, it calculated the sum value, it got 10. The next element is 20. So I got 20, 20 plus 10, 30. So it printed 30 here. Okay. So likewise, so that indentation is the only thing which will decide what is inside of your for loop and what is outside of your for loop. Okay. Now this is a simple list, right? Let's say you have to do sum of 1 to 20. Okay. So you have to go one way, just define everything manually in a list, right? But I do not have to do that. For that, I have one function called range. Okay. So this range function will give me a range of numbers from which I can iterate. Okay. So I'm saying for value in range. I'm just saying 6. Okay, so I'm saying 5. So what this is giving? 0 to 4. Okay. So important thing, when I'm using my range function, my end is not inclusive. Okay. If I specify the single argument, it will defaultly start from 0 and it will go to the n minus. Okay.
Okay.
So this is the first way. Second, now if you want to provide the start and the end, so I'm saying 10, 50. Okay. So what this will go, it will start from
So
10, but it will go till 49.
okay.
Okay. So important thing, my end is not inclusive. Alright.
Okay.
Now if you want increment in it, okay. So 10, 15, 20, whatever increment you want, you will get it on.
If I want to decrease them, minus them.
Yeah, minus will go. So just make 50 to 10 minus 5.
Oh, in that case, I have to put first.
Exactly. Yeah.
That will be minus. Multiplication will be same.
Let's try with 10 and 50. Okay. So it cannot generate such numbers. So it will just
That's just 50 minus 40 minutes.
In that case, you can give any exception.
Multiplication is the same case, right?
multiplication.
If you want to like cross. In this case, we are adding, right? So if you want multiplication,
If you want multiplication of all the elements,
yeah.
you have to just sum multiply the factor. Whatever may be
No, in
done.
this case, range I am asking.
No, we do not have any for multiplication. It's like so if you see my normal for loop in Java, right?
Okay.
For I is equals to 0, we say I less than and we provide this I plus b. So this is my increment, right? So we generally specify if I want increment of 5, I is equal to I plus b, right? So this increment part is my step limiter of my
Okay.
okay? This is nothing actually addition. Okay.
Okay.
All right. Next few things, we have a break statement and a continuous statement. Let's start to do with a simple linear search program. Okay. So what is my linear search? So I have a list of elements and I have a key. I have to check if this 60 is present in this list or not. Now obviously in Python I can use my in operator and this will be a single line of program. But let's go by conventional approach and write an algorithm for this. So my algorithm says I traverse this list one by one. I check the each element. If this 10 is equal to this key or not. If no, then continue. 20 equals 20 compared with 60. If not equals, continue. 30 not equals, continue. Element found, then come out of the loop saying that element is found. Right?
Okay.
So, what should be the loop?
If
Okay. So now I'm inside of my loop. I have to check if each element which I'm getting is equal to this key or not. What should I write?
if key is
If key
double equal to L.
Keep in mind L is my entire list.
L of integer okay value colon.
Okay. If this is the case, I'm saying print
And just break.
Element
found. What I'm doing. Element found. Now once the element is found, I'm saying come out of the loop.
Okay.
For that I have break statement.
Okay. Got it.
Okay. Else I'm saying keep on continuing. Now this actually completely optional part. Even though if I do not write this, it will automatically move to the next iteration. But just to tell that there is one statement called continue. So when you get a continuous statement, it will directly jump to the next iteration. So even if by mistake I write any statement after continue,
it will not list. It will not print.
Exactly. So this is unreachable part of my. Okay.
Okay.
Let's see. Okay, element found. But how about this? What should we do?
Yeah, it is not. It's continuing and ending without giving anything.
Exactly.
Set a flag.
On the handle. Set a flag. Yeah. Primary flagging logic.
Very default logic.
So I'll say flag equal to 0. If my element found, I'll say flag equal to 1. Right? Here again I'll say if flag equals 1, then print element found, right? So in that case, I do not need that other one, else I'll print
Element not found.
not found.
Here, by default, that value will be equal to 1. Like
Yes.
no, in C or
So if you
something.
do not specify default is 0, right? No. So you have to assign one.
No, I'm checking in if statement. Checking, right?
So yeah, so in if statement, a non-zero value is considered.
Okay.
So yeah, so if you just say if flag,
that means
this
it will not
that
count.
is not
Okay.
okay. But let's discuss another important topic. So this flagging logic is working,
Okay.
right? But in my Python, I don't need this. Okay. So this is the main reason they have something else to handle the flagging logic, and that is
Else.
like that. Okay. Now what just happened? So in my Python, for my loops also, I have an optional else block. This is completely optional.
What actually the indentation else you have given there at the end, right? That optional else. There is the main else for that.
So that's what I'm saying. So this is not that if and else. Well, that else. Okay. So this is actually the else part for my for loop. So in my Python, I can have an optional else block for my for loop also.
Oh,
Okay.
okay.
Now how it
For
works?
for else is the one kind of keyword.
Exactly.
Oh, okay.
Now how it works? Okay. If your loop continues till end without any break statement, okay, then in that case, after execution of loop, it will go to this else block. In case there is a break, okay, if the break statement gets executed, it will not execute this part. Okay. Now in this case, if you see, when I say element is 60, okay, so it will continue. At this condition, my break will be executed, right? If break gets executed, it will come out of this for block and the else block also. But in case if it continues, that is if I have 100, okay, it will continue till end of it, right? In that case, it will go to your else block, okay? So you do not have to write a flagging logic, okay?
Okay.
Understood the concept?
Yeah.
So no more flagging logics in Python. Another thing now, so till now we have seen we are playing with values directly, right? So I'm just taking one value at a time, that is 10, 20, 30. I'm not caring about indexes. Okay. But in case you need an index also, that you want to play with index and the value both, you want to work on them. For that, I have a function called enumerate.
Enumerate.
Okay. So what enumerate will do, enumerate actually returns a tuple, so which I can accept in two ways. So it returns me index and the value. So in this case, what I'm saying, if element is found, I'm saying element found at, and I'm printing the index.
Oh, here comma is looks like a pipes.
Multiple things if I want to print.
Concatenation.
Yeah.
So element will return a tuple. So from the tuple we can
Exactly. So if I just take what I'll do, I'll just copy paste the whole thing again. Let me comment this part too. Okay, so this actually returns a tuple. Now, one way is either you use this indexing for that, which we haven't covered yet. Okay, now these are my separate values. Okay, or you can directly assign it to the two variables here. Now you are accepting into two separate variables. Okay.
Okay.
So this is my enumerate. Okay. So this is actually giving me index and the value both. However, do you want to work on the only indexes? Okay. So I have a list and I want to get this to work on the base on index, right? Let's say I want to swap the value. Okay. And what we will do, let's discuss the bubble sort program. Anyone remembers bubble sort? Good. What is the logic?
Yes, I have seen.
All right.
we put that some the value
Exactly. So I'll compare
end
the
of the
not for this one. 10, 25, 5, 35, 100, 100, 1. So how bubble sort will do, it will compare two values. Okay, 80, 70. Which one is greater? If first one is greater, swap it. So 80 will come. Now with this compare 80, 50. 80 will be here. 80, 10. 80 will be here. 80, 20. 80 will be here. 85. 80 here. 80, 48 here. 80, 35. 81. So ultimately, in each iteration, I'll get one element at the correct position. Okay. So in the first iteration, I'll get 80 at the last. In the second iteration, I'll get 70 in the second last position. And then I guess 50 in the third position. Something like this. Right? So in each iteration, so if you see for my bubble sort, always the number of iterations will be equal to this length of this list. Right? I have to compare the first element with the next element. Right? So I have to say I want a loop which will continue from continue till this length of this list. Okay. Now if you see, if I use directly L, I'm getting value, so I cannot go till end of the list. In the end of the list, I'll get one value at a time, right? This is my index, right? So you can use your range function. So what range will do? Range generally gives me the range of two values, right?
Yes.
So I want a range of one. I want a range from 0 to this entire length, right?
Yeah.
So I can specify it here, go till length of this type. Okay. Now just try to understand. So it will be length of L. So what is L? Length 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. Okay. So it will go from 0 to 9. Right? It looks like 10, but actually it will go from 0 to 8.
9.
Right? My end is not increased. I have 9 elements, right?
Okay.
So it will go to 0 to 8. So in short, I have, so this is like 9 elements. 9 times it will repeat.
And this one is not it. 0 to 9.
So this actually works from 0 to
8.
8.
Okay, it's for 9 elements.
For 9 elements, ultimately. Alright. So
Actually, range will go only for n minus 1, right?
so my range will defaultly taking one element list, right?
Yeah,
So
that's
let's
what.
try to print this. Yeah, right. Let's try to print the value here. I'm getting 1, 2. Is it correct or not? Yeah,
Yeah,
0
here
to
it
8,
is
right?
value.
0 to 8 is correct, right? So that is 9 elements. Okay. Next thing I have to do, I have to compare this two elements at a time, right? And this entire, so comparing of two elements should work for this number of elements, right? For that, I'm writing another loop here for, let's take it as index. Now we have to handle one special condition here. If you see, if I go to the last, so I'm comparing first element and the next element. When it go to the last, I have to check this condition also. This plus next, if I do, so it will give me an error, right? So I have to make sure it does not go to the end of it. So I'm saying it range of, right? So that it can handle it. Now I'll get index actually here, right? If I print index, what I'll get? I'll get this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, like this, because this is the range actually. So I'm saying if L of index, that is the element which is present at this index, is greater than L of
X
index
plus 1. Plus 1.
plus 1. Like this is the condition. I need to swap it. Now, how to swap variables in Python? I just say
X plus 1.
okay, and this will give me the swap. Once this is done, let me print my value. Now let's see. Let's if I print my list here again. You
Oh,
can see in the first iteration I got 80 at the last position. In the second iteration I got 70 in the second last position. Next I got 50, then 48, then 35 in the correct position, then 20, 10, 5, and ultimately.
okay.
Alright.
Got it.
So this is actually making one element at correct position. But as I want all numbers at correct position, I have to iterate through this till I have till this length of this particular, right? Important part, how to swap. It's just a single line of code in my Python. Okay, here.
Yeah.
So another simple problematic. I want a table of 1 to 5. So I want output something like this: 4, 5, 1, 4, 6, 8, 10. So I will take out 3, 6, 9, 12, 8, 10. 10, 20, 30, 40, 50. Right? How will do it? Try this.
I will be back in 2 minutes.
Sure, sure.
Yeah.
First row plus 1.
First row.
Means for the second row, how will get is like first row plus 1 incremental. Like that. Then again second row plus 1 for the third.
Back.
You see the logic. If you see, let's write 1 to 10 here.
Yeah.
Okay. And let's write 1 to 5 here. Now it's just a multiplication of two numbers. 1 into 1, 2 into 2, 3 into 3, 3 into 4. Okay. So I want 1 to get this 1 to 10. And 1 thing to go from 1 to 4. So if you see in this, if I want to print something like this, okay, so you have to keep this, so this 1 is completely constant, right? So in this line, I'm just completely multiplying 1 with 2, 1 with 3, 1 with 4.
So same way they say 1 to 10.
Exactly. Here, once I change it to 2, 2 to 1, 2 to 2, 2 to 3, 2 to 4.
Okay.
Right?
Okay.
So, how should we do?
So it should be for value in range 10.
Okay.
Instead,
For value in range
10.
if I 10, it will be 0. But I want from 1, so better go with this. Alright? Yeah.
Then next for value, another, it can be another value variable.
Value.
In range, like it should be from 1 to 5 actually.
1 to 5.
Then print value 1 into 20. You don't
Yeah.
print it.
Something like that. Okay. Now if you see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 2, 4, 6, 8, alright, you got the answer.
Okay.
Logic part is done. Now comes the representation part. Okay. So how you are expecting is, so now if you see everything is printed on the next line. This is my print statement. Default is put a slash n at the end. So for that you have to specify explicitly n equals to colon space. So I'm just saying instead of slash n, use a space at the end. Now if I see I'm getting everything on the same line. Okay. Now Where should I put slash n?
After the first iteration, right?
Exactly.
Okay. So the slash n is for the next line.
Exactly.
Okay.
If you want to continue on the same line, you will explicitly specify the n. So now I have made slash p. So slash p means a tab.
Okay.
Okay. So what I'm saying, print one number, then put a tab.
Okay.
Okay. So it's putting a tab, tab, tab. Now once it reaches it here, it will go to the next iteration. Now in the next iteration, my first line is printed. That's why printing a new line and then again. So use it your tables, something like.
Okay.
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 Clear? So make sure indentation again here. This is single, this is double. So for loop clear? So for loop, we have seen first syntax of my for loop. Second thing, we have seen the range function. So there are three variations, right? So one is this, second is, and the third variation is arbitrary. So everybody clear with these three variations?
Yeah.
Next, we have seen continue and break. Then we have seen my else part for my for loop. We have seen enumerate, right? And yeah, and extra thing slash and slash.
Slash t. Okay.
End, right?
Slash
End.
yeah, and equal to slash and.
Okay. One second. Can you please go up
Okay.
just for I want to see. Okay. Okay. Got it. So print slash n. Okay, only for this multiplication. After multiplication, n equal to slash t. Okay. Okay.
Slash yeah. Another simple program. Give me the reverse of this. How will you do it?
Should be treated as
What do
string.
you
Okay, yeah, string will be the easiest kept.
Yeah.
But let's do some mathematics.
module?
Exactly. What we'll do, we'll first cover while loop, okay? And then we'll go with this problem. Okay. So now, there's actually nothing new in my while loop. My syntax is exactly the same. I'll say while. I have to specify the condition here. So this condition, now the difference is this condition should be either true or false. If it's true, then only it will go to the while loop. Else it will not go. Again, I also have optional else block here, which works the same as my
For
loop. Okay. Now, if you're using your for loop, while loop, you have to make sure you provide your count and you increment your count. To iterate, because I do not have inbuilt iterator or something for this. You have to define it your own. So this is the difference between a for loop and my while loop, that here it should be a iterable data type, right? From which Python can iterate, but here it should be a condition which either evaluates to true or right. Let's try addition of 1 to 20 using while loop. What I need to let's say I'm saying one counter, so I'm saying count is equals to 1 in this. I'm writing white. Count is less than equals to penny.
Count.
Let
Count
me
is
take. Oh yeah. Sum equals to 0. I say sum is equals to sum equals count.
count.
Why
Count
not
spelling.
take 2 C's? Make sure you increment your count.
Count plus equal to 1.
Okay.
Okay.
So this should be either true or false. Now once you reach count reaches to 21, you see count less than 20, so this condition will become false and it will break out.
Okay.
If you forget this, obviously it will go to the infinite loop. Right? Yeah. Coming back to the problem.
Yeah.
Yeah, tell me the logic. I am going to type only. I'm not telling anything.
Plus 2 minus 2 for you minus 2.
765. Yeah. What is the logic?
Something like first like plus 2 then 0 means minus 2 then minus 2.
Why plus 2 actually? If I do plus 2, I'll get 6, 5.
No, 456 means usually we are having 456, correct? So if you have like 4 plus 2 then 5 is like 0.
So you mean to say you have to extract this everything one value at a time, and then you have to perform the addition.
Exactly.
So I extract the 6, 5, and 4.
Then I need to say like 6, so you got to make it 4, right? That is 2 and then 6.
But how about my numbers change to 7, 8, 9?
7, 8.
How about if it's 7, 1, 9? Not 9, let's make it 6.
6 and 7. 6 and 7 also like this plus 1, 0 and then minus 1.
So every time you have to change all the values, right? So a single program will not work. Money?
Yeah, it should be working.
Yeah.
Should be working.
Let's go step by step. I'm doing some things, just make logic. Right here. So this is kind of a hint.
Okay. What will give that percentage?
So if you see, if I make 456, if I then 456 mod 10, this is
Okay.
giving me the last digit.
Okay. Okay. Mod.
If
Okay.
I do floor 10, this is giving me the first two,
Okay.
right?
Yeah.
So the thing you have to do is, so 456 will be nothing like, so if I just have a single digit, okay, 6. What will be the reverse? 6 will be. If I have a 56, the reverse will be 65,
6.
which is equal to 60 plus 5, right?
Okay.
4, 5, 6, I have 6, which is equals to 65
Plus.
plus, I want something like this. No.
So the number of digits should be editable, right? Can be 4, 5, 6 or can be 4, 5, 6 or no. Can be
Okay, fine. So if you see, if I do my mod operator, this is giving me the last digit.
Okay.
So what I do take 6. Okay? I'm taking 6. Now next time I want 5. But I cannot take out this middle element directly. So what I'll do, I'll reduce my number to 45 now. And then again I'll perform the mod operation, I'll get 5.
5.
Then now I have 45, now I want 4. Again I cannot go to 4 from this 45. I'll make it 4 and then I'll again perform the mod operation. This will give me 4. So now using this mod and floor, I have the 6, 5, 4. Right? All I want is the correct magnitude. Okay. If you see, this is my unit place, 10th place, 100th place.
Okay.
So here I have to multiply it by 1. Here I have to multiply it by 10. Here I have to multiply it by 100. So there's a lot of mathematics.
Yeah.
What I'm doing, I'm taking one variable for reverse. Initially it will be 0. I'm saying remainder is equals to, I write the root now. I said, let's make it more meaningful.
Okay.
How it's working now. Okay. Hmm. In the first iteration, I'm saying give me this first last digit. Okay. So I'm saying now mod 10. So this is giving me the last digit. So I have a 6 here now. Okay. Now if you see, the reverse of 6 will be 6 1. Okay. So this I am checking to make it for 100 place and 10 place. I'm adding this. Okay. So initially, if you execute this, reverse is 0 initially. 0 into 10, 0. Plus remainder, that is 6. So I'm storing reverse is equal to 6, which is correct, right? The first iteration. So I have single digit and reverse is single digit. Now I want this 5. So for that, in the next iteration, what I'm doing, num is equal to num floor 10. Now my number will become 45.
Okay.
Okay. Now again it will go here. It will check if number is greater than 0. Yes, 45 is greater than 0. Again calculate remainder. Now it will calculate 45 mod 10. What it will give me? 5. Right? Now in 5, now in earlier I have 5, 6 stored in my reverse. Now if I have to do the reverse of this 65 or 56, it should be 60 plus 5. That's why whatever 6 I have, I'm multiplying it by 10. So now this is 60 plus 5, this is 65. So I have 2 digits and my reverse is correct, right? Now I want this 4. So for 4, I'm again doing num is equals to num floor 10. This will give me 4. Again, I have to check if this 4 is greater than 0 or not. Yes, obviously greater than 0. Calculate the remainder. Now if you divide 4 by 10, you will get remainder as 4, right? Last digit. Again for this, what I have to do? Now I have 3 digits. So this 65 which I have to make it 650, and then I have to add this 4, right? So reverse is 65 into 10. This is 650 plus remainder I'm adding. So now that will become my reverse.
Okay.
Again I'm calculating num is equal to num floor 10, which will become my num is equal to actually 4. 4 floor 10. This will give me 0. Now once it will reach here, so 0 greater than 0, condition false, get out of the loop, print the reverse.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah. Understand the logic?
Yeah.
Alright. So these are my Python loops. Okay, so going forward, we will be using extensively loops. Okay, so I'll be mailing the assignments for conditionals and the looping statements after the class. Okay, now try make sure you practice that. Okay,
Okay.
once you practice your assignments, you'll be really good position to go forward. Okay, you don't have to go back, because when we move forward, we should not go back and see what is the syntax of for, what is the syntax of while. Okay, and you will get comfortable with this for each loop, something like this, that because in C and all you must have familiar with this for I equal to 0, I less than n, right? So this will be a bit different. But make sure you practice it and get hold on it. Okay?
Okay.
So we will stop here. Any queries on loops?
No.
No?
Do wise we don't know.
No, we do not do that.
We will. So assignment means how it is. We need to submit it in through email or something.
So it's better actually, but it's actually the main purpose is for your betterment. Okay. Once you complete your assignments, you can mail it back that on support@zclass.com. Okay.
Can you please paste it in this
So it is
one?
so Bhuvan, it is the same mail from which I'm sending you the links.
Okay. Link support at.
Session link. Yeah. Same link.
Okay.
Okay. So
So
I'm actually mailing this file and the assignment. Okay, you can reply on the same.
okay. Yesterday thing is not sent.
Yeah. I'll combine it both and I'll send.
Okay.
We have our mail.
Yeah, I am not having yours.
Can I just paste it?
Bhuvan, I have yours. I have yours.
No, this is the one, right? Support at zclabs.
Exactly.
.com.
.com. Yeah.
Okay. So you share the assignment.
Yep.
So we can end.
Yeah.
You're going to give some assignments in email, or otherwise you are going to
In the
give it
email
here.
only. In email only. I'll send the email only.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. 1 second. The recording. I need to how to end it actually.
So if you automatically just end the meeting, it will start that converting also. No problem.
No, converting. Okay. The where it needs to store yesterday's thing itself will.
Yeah, exactly at the same location. It will go at the same location.
Oh, it will automatically go.
Yeah.
1 second, please. View options. The settings where I got it actually. I don't know.
So you can check it. Go to that more option.
More.
Trigger settings.
1 second. More option. More option. Where can I find out more